Good morning, or I guess almost good afternoon today on this rainy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right? Anyway, I had told you guys that I would go over the sample quiz with you. I am having issues with my printer today, so hopefully that'll be rectified soon, but I am going to just use my computer. I did write out the solutions here for you. I will also post those for you as well so you can compare those to your answers from yesterday. So please know while I am posting your grades, I'm not checking through every single answer, and I wish I could do that, but right now I am seriously playing catch up. I've got almost all 3 classes somewhat caught up. I still have the online assignments I gave you, but be doing your best with it. And I am trying to get my camera on my computer to work. It is a school computer. So far not been successful with that, but I'm going to call about that today. So hopefully we can do some Zoom meets and tutoring sessions starting this week as well. Okay, so your first question from Sample Quiz 4.06, that was from Digital Day 11 yesterday, what I gave you, and this is over sector areas. So the first question was pretty simple. It says, given the circle centered at point A shown in the diagram, and it has a diameter of 8 centimeters in length, determine the area of the circle. So basically all we have here is just a circle with a center at A, and we see here that the diameter is 8. So the area of a circle, we know it's just pi r squared. So the first thing we have to do is just take that radius, or to find our radius is to take that diameter, divide it by 2, and we get 4. Okay, so now we're just going to incorporate it into this formula, pi r squared, which is going to be 16 pi square centimeters. So your answer here for this one should have been letter C, 16 pi square centimeters. Okay, now number 2, it says which figure has the largest area? So as you can see, we have a circle with a radius of 6, we have a square with a side of 10, and then we have a triangle with a height of 14 and a base of 16. So basically what I did is I said, okay, A, which is my circle, and I found the area by saying pi r squared. In this case, our radius was 6, so it'd be pi 36. Of course, in order to be able to determine if it's larger, we do have to work through that pi by just simply typing in 16 times pi in your calculator, and we got 113.1 square centimeters. Now, letter B is a square, so because I know one side is 10, I know all sides are 10. So we're just going to say 10 times 10, and that's 100 square centimeters. And lastly, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So 16 times 14 divided by 2 is 112 square centimeters. So we see here the one with the largest was in fact the circle letter A. Okay, so moving on to number 3, it says which of the below squares is closest to having the same area as a circle with a diameter of 8. So here's our circle with the diameter of 8, and then we're given 4 squares with various side lengths. A is 5, we see B is 6, C is 7, and D is 10. So, of course, my first step is I have to take the diameter of that square, divide it by 2 to get our radius, then incorporate it into our formula. A equals pi r squared. So that would be 16 pi worked out, which is going to be 15.3 square centimeters. So you've got to find the area of your circle first. Then I went through and found the area of each square. The first one with the side of 5, which would be 5 squared, or 25 square centimeters. B was 6, a side of 6, so 6 squared is 36 square centimeters. C, a side of 7, which is 7 square centimeters, or 49 square centimeters. And lastly, we have D, which is 8 times 8, or 64 square centimeters. So we see here the closest value here to 50.3 is C, 49 square centimeters, or letter C in this case. Okay, so moving on to question number 4. Okay, so number 4, it says, what is the sector area of a sector created by a circle with a radius of 40 and radius of 4 centimeters and a 40-degree central angle? So here's what we're looking at. So basically here, we're using the area of a sector, which is the central angle divided by 360 times the circumference of the circle, the area of the circle, which is pi r squared. So we're just going to take 40, put it over 360. I just canceled out the zeros there. And then pi 4 squared, which is pi 16 or 16 pi. So I reduced down that 4/36 to 1/9. You don't really have to when you put it into your calculator. So you can basically do this with the calculator. You can just keep it as simple as 4, well, let me clear that out, parenthesis 4 divided by 36. You'll get the same thing with 1/9 as well. And then second pi and 4 squared is 16, and type that in, and you get 5.6. Now, in this case, I made a mistake. In this case, we left our answer in pi centimeters because that's the way they gave us the answers. So we're not going to work out pi. So basically, what I did is that's why I reduced it down to 4/36 reduces down to 1/9 because 4 will go into itself one time and 4 will go into 36 9 times, and then I multiplied that by 16 pi. Now that's the same thing as saying 1/9 times 16 pi over 1, and that's going to be 16/9 pi centimeters squared, which would be your answer, letter C.